Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup, where we're going to cover one player move, as well as the LCK series from this morning, then preview the LCK LCS schedule for tomorrow. The news: T1 Faker has returned. The GOAT is back. He played for T1 today. His stats up and through today's games: 3.8 KDA, 88 CS per minute, 63.4 KP. 419 gold per minute, 590 damage per minute. This results in just under 22% of the team's gold and 25.5% of the team's damage. On average of 15 minutes, he's up 65 gold, 4 CS, 75 XP, so relatively even at 15 minutes. 5 solo kills, 8 champions, 21 games. Poby, in his place, actually did not put up as bad of numbers as I thought he would. 1.6 KDA is awful, but 9 CS per minute, 64.5 KP. So he did get fed in CS. Similar KP to Faker, but 390 gold per minute, 479 damage per minute. We can see how different T1 played with Poby versus Faker, because despite having less gold per minute and less gold per minute, he still had more gold percentage than Faker at 22.2%. Damage 24.4. On average at 15 minutes, and this is where I thought he would do much worse. He was down only 200 gold, 7 CS, and 145 XP. So, was he behind? Yeah. Was he behind by a decent amount? Sure. I mean, every even game he had, he was down 14 in another. But given how poorly he looked in Challenger and in laning phase, I thought he would look a lot worse than this. You know, he had 1 solo kill in 18 games, played 6 champions. I hope that he does get another opportunity at some point in his career. He is very young. He was not ready for this at all. T1 hopefully are going to think about this next year, whether it's Poby on Challenger if they feel comfortable, or looking elsewhere and thinking, hey, do we need to have a more experienced backup mid laner? So that happened. Speaking of T1, so the recap: I'm 247 and 122 in predictions, 2-0 today. T1 with 2-0 the Kwangdong Freaks, going to 8-9, KDF 4-13. Zeus was my MVP, 8-2-12, 31% of damage on Aatrox in both games. Gumayushi went deathless, 14-09. Bulldog 2-4-4, 38% of damage in the loss. He played Xerath in one of the games. So, you know, a lot of things are being said, whether, you know, hyperbolic or not, about Faker's impact. I don't think it is any stretch to say that KDF have been the worst team outside of T1 since Faker got hurt. However, I do think there is something to be said for how, you know, somebody mentioned in the Discord just a little while ago that LS had mentioned that the T1 comms were very different without Faker versus with Faker. And it makes, I mean, Faker is a shot caller. And now he's back. Owner's going topside, getting Zeus in a good position against Dudu. Faker is not losing lane into Bulldog. Guma and Keria are doing work in the bot side. Faker has played a long time. You think about pro sports. There are a lot of greats that micromanage their teammates. I think of the NFL and football because there's a lot of choreographed plays, right? And Tom Brady used to get on his teammates all the time, his wide receivers, and even Peyton Manning, like, why'd you do this? This is the exact step you need to, the next exact step you need to make a break, or why do you see this, or what's that? Why are you choosing to go that way? And I think that sort of micromanagement is a big deal, and it might be a big difference for T1. It honestly might. Given how poorly they looked without Faker, they looked excellent today. I mean, Zeus came through in a big way in team fights and in laning phase. I felt like they were good. Owner more active than Young Jay. Bot side doing their job. KDF, it's fallen off the rails, and T1 took advantage of it. Nongshim D+. D+ win 2-0. They go to 11-6. Nongshim 5-12. Deft 7-4-13, 36% of damage. Kana was my MVP on Jax in both games, 10-4-5. Jiwoo 10-7-7, 31% of damage in the loss. This was a close 2-0. Nongshim had actually exposed D+'s Nexus. D+ were able to make a stand. Showmaker and Deft coming through in a big way in that one. And in game 2, Nongshim actually were able to stop a D+ surge and almost take Baron, if not take Baron in the very late game, and then lose with the Baron because D+ had exposed the Nexus and were ahead by so much. But it was not clean by D+ at all. New coach. This is the first series since Bubbling took over. So there is something to be said for that. However, I thought that Kano was excellent, especially in Game 2. Game 1, Nongshim really took it to them. Din Din looked good in team fights. Aatrox is looking OP now, at least in the LCK after today. Canyon active, more active than Sylvie, I would say. Showmaker doing his job. Deft obviously doing his. But you got to give Nongshim's bot lane credit. Jiwoo looked fine. Once again, he may have it. Let's just put it that way. The it factor, and be able to stick with Nongshim going forward. The 6th seed in the LCK is an abomination in terms of what their record's going to be. So, whether it's Nongshim, Live Sandbox, it doesn't really matter. Their records are pretty trash. But it's hard to really say. Did D+ play poorly? Nongshim play good? Both. Sneak peek for tomorrow. LCK, Brion, DRX, both are 4-12. Brion coming off of a loss to Nongshim. DRX a loss to HLE. When they played earlier in the split, Brion won 2-1. Henna 16-19, 37% of damage in the win. Paddock 6-4-4, 30% of damage in the loss. After that, we have HLE Genji. HLE 11-5, coming off of a win against DRX. Genji 15-1, coming off of a win against D+. Last time they played, Genji won 2-0. Pays was dominant, going 23-14, 35% of damage. Viper 6-7-8, 28% of damage in the loss. In the evening, we'll have the LCS, Dignitas TSM, Dignitas 7-11, TSM 8-10. The teams went 1-1 against each other. However, Dignitas had changed their bot lane between those two matchups. So we're only looking at the second game. Insanity 11-4, 45% of damage on Ksa mid to lead the way in the win. Jensen 3-4-5, 32% of damage in the loss on LeBlanc. So that's it for the roundup. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter. Hope to see you again tomorrow.